All improvements that are done are pre-ignition. That means clean fuel. You have a computer to control the amount of air going into the engine, amount of oxygen-air combination. You have another computer to see that the petrol and diesel is sprayed properly so that good combustion takes place. But once the combustion has taken place, there is nothing that stops that particulate matter from going on. Whatever is created has to be pushed out, otherwise the new charge will not come into the firing cylinder. It's very simple. So, what I did in this innovation was, we achieved either two mutually exclusive results. One is, you reduce the back pressure. That means, the pressure experienced by the engine in throwing out the exhaust gases. वो कपड़ा जो नाक के सामने रखा वो हटा दिया. दूसरा कि पार्टिकल मैटर को भी ट्रैप करो. ये दोनों चीजें इकट्ठी नहीं हो सकती थी till now. So I'll take you through a short presentation, which will be a short PowerPoint presentation, and then the stuff was tested in the engineering college, and I'll show you short videos of that. Yeah. And you can stop me anywhere, even now. कोई भी सवाल हो जो भी is better fuel air mixture. Okay, so there are computers that do this. Better fuel air injection. Another set of computers that controls the amount of fuel going into the firing chamber, into the cylinder. Better fuel air homogenization. That means अगर आपका जो फ्यूल है वो ऑलरेडी पार्टिकल ड्रॉपलेट्स में है तो उसने जलना क्या है, वो बाहर से जलेगा फिर अंदर से जलेगा. बाय दैट टाइम पार्टिकुलेट मैटर विल बी जनरेटेड. सो यू होमोजेनाइज द फ्यूल एंड एयर. Try to make it into a gas. As you know that the LPG run vehicles have less smoke. Why? Because the gas homogenizes well with the air, unlike the petrol and the diesel. Okay, so better fuel air homogenization. Cleaner and better fuel. This is concerning refineries. Our refineries are all the time working to give us better and cleaner fuels. Although even now, I think the world's worst diesel is available in India, but nevertheless the improvements are being made. Now, pre-treatment of fuel or air before combustion, this is something that I will not touch on because again, it's the tip. All pertain to pre-combustion stage. That means before the firing of the mixture or the spark plug has taken place. It's all come to that. Now, conventional mufflers जो होते हैं, once the firing has taken place, it has to be thrown out. What is a conventional muffler? It's something that reduces the sound. That's all. It can be a straight run-through pipe with holes in it, like the one you see here, or it can be something like this. From one side, the exhaust enters, it suddenly expands in this big chamber, and then goes out from the other side. So again, the whole attempt is to reduce the sound. And while it is doing this, it is causing a back pressure on the engine, which they say is a necessary evil. Back pressure engine पे आएगा, इतना pressure आएगा और इतने आप back pressure के लिए अपना engine design करो, because this is a necessary evil. Like friction is a necessary evil. So back pressure on an automobile engine or an internal combustion engine is considered a necessary evil. This is how a muffler looks from the outside. And this is another muffler again, where you see that as the exhaust gases move out, the high-speed sound gets absorbed in this steel and glass wool enclosure. There are those small holes from which that sound actually bounces into the, whereas the gases just simply go out. Now, design theme. What if the gases that are coming out of the muffler would go into a fast spin? If we could spin those gases, can we spin them? What if the centrifugal force generated separated the smoke particles? Then, what if the separated smoke particles could be trapped? This is the way the thing works one by one by one. Could this be done without increasing the back pressure? These are questions. Actually, what had happened was, I'd gone to drop my son to school on my motorcycle. On the way back, there was a three-wheeler in front of me. And Lal Batti hua, and he made my life hell. There was just too much smoke coming from there. So I actually got angry. And I said, इसकी ये जो टूटी है ना, इसको पानी में डालो. जब पानी में डालने की सोचा, थोड़ी देर आगे निकले तो मैंने कहा फिर ये गंदे काले छींटे थे. I was still angry. I said, bloody centrifuge the cheetah. Finish the story. Centrifuge, then I started working on something to spin. But I realized at that time that a spinner in the exhaust of an engine is not really a good thing, because the exhaust is a very unfriendly environment. There are high temperatures, there are all kind of corrosive stuff. So a spinner really is not a solution. And that problem remained suspended in my mind for over a year or so. Till I came across two things. It's called a vortex tube or cyclone separator. It's a very interesting thing. You have a tube, you enter gases tangentially into that tube, and the gases themselves begin to form a natural cyclone or a vortex. No moving part, nothing. And the cyclone separator already works on that principle. Vortex tubes are known. Those who study engineering, they understand vortex tubes. So this is what came up. You see that number one is clear for everyone, can you see? Number one is where the exhaust gases coming out from the engine enter into in a tangential direction into that longish pipe, and it goes into a very, very high centrifugal a vortex action. That vortex action causes the particulate matter to separate out under the centrifugal force. Particles are heavier than gas, so they move radially outward, whereas the gas moves axially outwards along the direction 4. As the particulate matter enters this chamber 5, ये 5 वाले chamber का pressure बढ़ जाता है. So if you don't have a pathway, that 5 chamber is going to get blocked and then nothing is going to happen. But you know that cyclones, everybody knows that cyclones in the center have low pressure. So you connect a pipe from 5 to 6, which is the center of the cyclone that you have made, and the suction takes place. So your particulate concentrated gas again takes a second spin. Now, this is what the device looks practically. This is what was tested in the engineering college. You see that number one, that is where the gases enter. They go into this chamber where they spin at very high speeds. Those are the holes on the sides from where the particulate matter come out. And at 5, the gases come out and then go again back into a spin, into the low chamber, low pressure area of the vortex or the cyclone. Now, a few questions, of course, will be there. That firstly, will the vortex be formed? ये vortex with the exhaust से बनेगा भी कि नहीं? Will there be a substantial centrifugal force? Will it actually cause separation of smoke? You know, you see smoke on Earth because Earth is 1 g, 1 gravity, 980 or 9.8 meters per second. If the gravity or that force suddenly became 5000 g or 500 g, smoke will not be seen. It will all settle down. You see smoke because it is 1 g. And in this contraption, the particulate matter becomes artificially very heavy, so it separates. Will this raise the back pressure? Because when we are putting the gases into a spin, we are changing the direction. Normally in routine physics, when you change direction of something, it will give a back pressure. So will this thing give an increase in back pressure? Can this contraption actually reduce back pressure? Now I'll take you to a couple of so with this we had gone and tried to test the thing in the engineering college, and I'll show you a few videos. I think I need help again because I was this one 4-stroke 2-cylinder diesel. That black thing you see coming out, I don't have a pointer anyway. That is the exhaust. जहाँ पे और exhaust के आगे ये जो आपने पहले muffler देखा था, that has been connected. Okay. Now, how do we know that there is a vortex being formed in the first place? You will see suction at the center point. There is a little piece of paper that will get suction, and at the exit of this 6 point, you will see that one. Right. Okay. So we'll run this again. And again, you can see that once again. So that positive thing going up and suction. So the vortex is formed, that is for sure. I'll show you the next slide. Next video. This thing, जो जहाँ की हम particulate separation देखेंगे. I'm pausing. See, again, you can see the machine. The on the axial surface are where the particulate matter has come off. And after 3 minutes of running, that is the hazard. So those particles which would have gone out into the atmosphere are all trapped in this thing here. But these two things don't show anything about the back pressure. So if we take the next one. Now we tried it on a petrol engine. I think the depth to which it has gone in, so there is a lot of force in that. Yeah, see here we are measuring even the back pressure. This is with petrol engine. Again, you can see that extremely short flip. So, you won't be throwing out smoke. B, you will be saving at least 15% of fuel. Why? Because when you overcome back pressure, you do premium work. The engine has to do work to throw out that gas. That work has suddenly disappeared. For example, a good car engine spends about 2.5 horsepower to throw out gases. Now this 2.5 horsepower is the end point. That means if there is 100, let us say, of energy in petrol, only 25% of which is actually shaft work or reaches the wheel. Of that premium 25%, 2.5 horsepower are going waste in this. So when you do it backwards, when you take away that load, your engine is going to perform much more better. And there is no rocket science about this. It's very simple. You reduce the load on the engine, obviously it will consume less fuel. Other thing. Regardless of the age. It may be a 1960 truck or it may be a latest model car. This stuff can be fitted, retrofitted. Get rid of the old silencer, put this. You are not throwing out particulate matter. Because in this setup, let me tell you, that a 1 micron particulate matter, that is particulate matter 1, PM1, behaves like a 37 micron particulate. So the trapping is, मतलब लाजमी अगर आप 10 माइक्रोन पार्टिकुलेट मैटर लेते हो तो इस सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स में it is going to behave like a 362 micron particulate. 2.5 micron particulate matter is going to behave like a 90 micron particulate matter. There is no way that 90 micron particulate matter is not going to get stuck. It is going to separate out from the gases immediately. And the good thing is that we have got reduced back pressure. So you are actually, when you go to higher and higher speeds, normally you should get higher and higher back pressure. Here, because of that ejector principle, I don't know how many of you are from the engineering background, but there is flowing water, you put a tube like that, if the water flows fast enough, it will suck in air. You know that. So similarly it happens with this. Yeah. And with that I come to the end of this thing. And what I'm here looking for is institutional support, because such important things shouldn't be actually left to a lone inventor. You know, other people should get involved. Thank you.